Yes, ma'am. Thank you. My name's Irvin, and I'm an addict. Ladies, gentlemen, nice to see you. I'm really nervous, so bear with me. Damn, this really is nervous. Okay, so I was asked to come speak, right, by my counselors and mom over here and a few other people. Mainly, I was at first I was like, I'm good. I don't feel I should go up there. I only got like a month and some change in recovery. So I was like, I feel that's for people who's been working instead, been doing it for like a year and so and some change. So they were like, nah, man, like you should go up there and let them know. Mainly, the boss asked me to come up here. So when she asks, you say when, where, what time, which is Roxy. So I'm not about to tell her no. Anyway, they want me to give a brief little thing on me. So I just got out of prison February 29th, and the whole time I was in there, like it was 14 years, I was getting high. I was fucking around the whole time, and like around my last 3 years, I got on Suboxone because I wanted to kick heroin. So it helped out, right? But I still have that itch. I'll still get high. And on my last year, I was able to go the whole year without using heroin, and I was on Suboxone. It was helping. But like crazy part is on my last day, literally the day before I paroled, my cellie gets a paper and he's like, here, man, like, this is your going away present. And I thought I was strong, I did the whole year. I was like, I'm good, I don't want it. And I even told him, like, if you get dope, don't offer me nothing. So he didn't even ask, he just went, fixed up. And the whole time I'm watching him, and I'm like, did he just buy dope? And I'm like, all right. So he fixes up and he tells me, here, man, this is your going away present. And the whole time I'm thinking, and I'm not even saying no, I'm just looking at it, and he's fast at work, and he gives me the tie and the needle. And like sadly to say, I did it like on impulse, right? So I did it. That's my last day. As soon as I did it, I got regret. I'm like, why the fuck did I do this? This is stupid. Like, I'm main thing in my head is like, I'm about to get my pills about to drug test me. I fucked up. And so anyway, I get out the next day. I'm regretting it. I didn't even enjoy the high because like I was just kicking myself in the ass. So when I get out, they take me straight to Fred Brown's. February 29th, I arrived at the door, and since that day to now, I've been clean, sober. I haven't used no dope. I don't think about using dope. I don't want to do dope. No, well, anyway, well, even though I'm sober, I was still on Suboxone. And me personally didn't feel that I was truly embracing recovery till I got off Suboxone. Because that's still, it's still like a, how do you say, it's just another a substitute. There you go. Thank you. And so I made the conscious decision. I told myself like, you know what? Because they took me to the clinic. They gave me my doses. I came home with a doses of Suboxone, and I already didn't want it. So in prison, I was dosing myself down. Right, I was at 24 to 20, and I would just throw it out. And that was me though. That was my decision. Right, when I got my 30-day chip, everybody was congratulating me, like, man, you did 30 days. That's what's up. Like, you sober. And I'm like, cool. But still in my head, I'm like, nah, man, you're not fully sober because you're still on Suboxone. So finally, I made the choice. I went to the clinic and I said, I'm good. I don't want it. And the doctors were trying hard to keep me on it. They were like, dose down, go down to two. And I'm like, nah, man, I know myself. I know my body. I'm good. I could do it. So I get off. I didn't think none of it. And I didn't know that the boss actually watches our doses. So for those of y'all that are on Suboxone who are just staying there or keep going up, like she's on it, man. Like she's really on it. So when I get off, I get called in the office by my counselor's Jim, just so y'all know. So if y'all know who Jim is, y'all know he's a hard ass. I'm not gonna call him an asshole because he's actually real cool. I like him actually, So he calls it how it is. So he calls me in there, and he's not the type that'll give you embrace, like tell you some nice things. So when he calls me in there, I'm like, fuck, what did I do? Am I getting kicked out? So as soon as I go in there, he's like, sit down, and I'm like, what's up? John was there, or Vic, and they're all like, we want to talk to you. I'm like, what's up? And then they're like, Roxy called, and I'm like, oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. Then like, fuck, I don't know what I did. So they're like, nah, man, why you tripping? Like, you're good. And I'm like, well, what's up? I'm like, I never even met her. I've never even seen her. So like, why is she calling for me? And they're like, nah, man, they called me because she actually, she called us asking who you were. And I'm like, what was she asked about me? And she's like, nah, because she saw your doses. She goes, she checks the dosage logs, and she seen that in the 30 days that you've been at Fred Brown, you went from 16 to 2, and you're off in a month. She's like, nobody in this program has ever done that. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, all right. I guess she said some nice words, and I'm like, thank you. And they were telling me like, oh, she's trying to start a program for like youngsters like you that want to get off Suboxone, they don't want to stay. And I'm like, well, if I could help her in any way, let me know. So finally we go to AGT and I see her. I get her by herself. So I'm like, it's kind of nervous to talk to that lady, like, but she's real nice lady, real awesome. So I tell her, I'm like, excuse me, Roxy, like, I'm so and so. I'm the person that you call, just want to say thank you, you know, like for those words. They were real kind. And she was like, that's you? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, come here. And she gives me a hug. And she's like, congratulations. She goes, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, I'm tripping because ain't nobody ever praised me like this, right? So and let alone the boss. So I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I appreciate it. And she's like, that's a good job, man. And I explained to her, like, look, like, I did that for me, you know, like, I know you want to start a program for people who want to get off. And I'm like, but look, man, like if they're not really fully wanting to get off, it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be overnight. I went through my bad stage in prison where I was dosing down. I'm talking tossing and turning, throwing up, all that. You guys that fuck around, that do heroin and all that, you guys know the kicking. So I was like, look, I started dosing down in prison. You guys are seeing my downhill. I go, it's bad, man. I go, it's not easy for us to get off, especially if we're at a high level. My advice would be to tell these guys to dose down little by little. I go, I seem like I cold turkeyed it. I go, but I was already dosed down, so it was and I want to say it was easy, but I went like 3 weeks without it, and I'm still tossing and turning. So it's a struggle. You feel me? But you just gotta be motivated and like you gotta want it, man. You know, it's that conscious decision. Like for me, it's my children, myself. Like I like to be sober now. And like if you guys knew me, you'll be like, man, like who the hell is this dude? Like you guys fucks around like crazy. But this shit nervous. But cause I got a lot of my peers here, and they were actually big support. You know, George, shout out. My son in the stage, shout out. And mom, of course, which I still want my Heidi Klum pictures, me and George. Anyway, yeah, but like, there's a lot of good support in the house I'm in, you know, and especially like the counselors, the house managers. Jesse's real cool, even though you know they think he's not. You're cool. I like him. Nah, but like everybody in my house been real, like giving me motivation. Like keep up the good work, man. Like you doing good. So like, you know, like I hope I could help someone else. You see, like, look, I did it, man. Like I was on it with like you guys were, and I'm off, man. Like I'm going on like my 4th week, starting my 4th week without it. You know, and like it's not, you know, I still feel it. I honestly also want to take this chance to tell all my house kids, like, I'm sorry, dudes, if I was like irritating, like when I was pissed, when I would be shaking. I hope I didn't, you know, fuck you guys' day off, but I try my best to just like be to myself. But I know I was probably real irritating. Like,
We love you.
good looking, Frank. But like it's not gonna be easy, man. So for those of y'all that want to get off, you could. You just gotta tell yourself like, you know, like you're gonna be way better, stronger. Your body's gonna be way more stronger when you go through this little struggle. It's gonna be bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. Like I tossed and turned, I didn't sleep. It's bad, bro, but it's way better at the end, you know? I feel good. I feel proud of myself. I wanna like let my kids know and shit, like, look, like I'm good, you know, your dad's normal. That's actually one of the main things when I told Jim, I was like, he's like, why do you want to get off the boxing? I'm like, cause it's been so long since I've been normal. He's like, what do you mean normal? I'm like, since where I woke up not needing something to get me up, or where I went to sleep without any like substance, whether it's beer, dope, whatever, weed. Like it's been a minute. So if that's actually, it feels good to say that, like, man, I'm normal. Like I wake up, like I'm good. I don't got nothing in my body, you know? So I just hope like I could help some other people, you know? If y'all in some boxing, you could get off, man. You gotta want it though, you feel me? Shit. If I could, y'all could, trust me. I was, I was doing bad. So I don't know how much more time I got, but if you guys got questions or anything, you know.
You got a minute and a half.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Oh, cool. Because this is really, really nerve-wracking. So thank you. Huh? Uh, man, I'm nervous as hell. But yeah, like I said, like I didn't want to come up here, but you got a lot of good people behind you at this program, you know. I'm actually real thankful for Fred Brown, dude. Like, it's helping me out in a big way, you know. And the main reason I did is because they're like, give back, man. You got to give back. So it don't matter if it's been a month and a couple of days. Like, go up there, you know, do it for. Abel was the main dude that got me up here too. He was like, do it for us, like do it for us, homie. Like do it for the youngsters, like you might be able to help them. I was all right. I thought he was dying at first when he asked me because he never talks to me nice. And he's like, what's up, homito? And I'm like, what up, OG? And he's like, hey, homito, did they ask you to speak? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm looking at him like, the hell? And he's like, yeah, homito, you should go up there, mijo. I'm like, this motherfucker's dying on me. I told him about those cigarettes, but it's good. But yeah, him, a lot of everybody, man, they told me to come up here. So I didn't want to. Like I said, they asked me in the parking lot. I'm like, you guys could have gave me like 10 minutes to write something, but Like I'll wing it. Thank you, sir. But yeah, like I said, man, thank you. I appreciate this time. You know, I could talk to you. I hope I help somebody. You know, appreciate it.